hope the FBI don't get us now. Let's hope the CIA don't get us. What up? We back live in living color. Y'all see the FBI and the CIA and how the devil be working.
Chill.
Shut us down on a random. I should have known I can't bring y'all Western mass hooligans nowhere. We ain't never had no problem. I had two sisters on here from Worcester. One of them was named Atel Haj and the other one Mariana Islam. And with them two names, we didn't even get flagged. And we had a show. But y'all right. Two trap stars come on here and the FBI shuts us down. So we back up. Shout out to the Yolanda Cancel. Can we do some of them shout outs, eh?
Yeah, I want to shout out my peoples in Springfield. Want to shout out, obviously, Yolanda Cancel. First, before I shout out anybody else, shout outs to my peoples, my sister in the whole game, Zuma Lee Rivera. Shout out to
loud in the mic.
Sasha Jimenez. Elvis. Shout outs to my man Ernesto Cruz. Shout outs to all my colleagues on the city council, of course. Shout outs first and foremost before I get strung out. I want shout outs to my girl Miriam Reyes back at home with the kids. Shout outs to my three kids, Nevaeh, AJ, and Milani. And shout outs to everybody at Springfield that's watching and everybody that's connected and sharing this video. So, if you guys could just do a friendly share for Calvin in the program, yes. It'll be most appreciated. We're going to be opening up the phone line so we could, if you guys have questions, you can put us on the hot seat, whatever it is.
But this media trained guy hosting over here.
Calvin, take it away.
Phone lines in a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Calvin.
They're great. They're open.
Yeah, Calvin, take it away. I do this. It's just like an on button. You know what I mean?
You good at it, man. We gotta have you back.
I'm about to give you the voice.
We're waiting for that 413 podcast. And then some shout outs, man. What shout outs you got?
Shout out to my mom. My mom's watching. She told me she's watching.
The Superfly OG. Shout out to you.
Hi.
To the dad. Sorry to be calling your girl the OG. She's Superfly.
My baby boy. I don't know if he's watching yet, but I'm sure he'll be popping up. That's my mommy. Fam, all my advisors, my mentors, all my people, y'all know who y'all are. And, yeah. And my babies from Putnam, y'all know who y'all are, too. I know y'all watching. I seen it. What up?
I seen it.
Big shout out to Keno White, homie, holding it down for the hood and doing the right thing. He reminds me of, I see a lot of me in them, me and Jafet, just those qualities of just wanted to see people get out the struggle. He's somebody that I want to see get there, whatever his dreams are,
That's powerful. That's what's up. All right, so we were moving. We had given our brother a shout out, man. Love and peace to Jafet Robles.
Yeah, Jafet is definitely a person that's missed. I know that his daughter and his three sons, his family, his mom, his sister, his father, specifically the activist community, really missed Jafet. I know we had dove in a little bit, and the work that we did with him, without a doubt, he was second to none. And definitely we need to find justice for Jafet. In solidarity, we just would love for everybody, at the end of the program and stuff, you guys can hashtag justice for Jafet. And, we just want to make sure that justice is served, and, may he rest in peace.
Word. Any more shout-outs? All right.
They probably come out later.
All right. So this is violence in Boston, right? And this grew out of what Monica Cannon Grant, the anti-violence, anti-trauma work that she's been doing.
Absolutely.
And
shout outs to her.
Yes. And so what I want to talk about is violence in Springfield, because I'm always trying to connect people how much they are connected. Mm-hmm. Springfield is in the top 10 most violent big cities in the country. And this is no diss, right? No one taking it personal. We're talking about real stuff. I'm from Boston. I love Boston. And I say Boston's the most racist big city in America. Fact. Ask people who have been to all kinds of big cities. So this is no diss. But Springfield, there's an issue that we got to address here. Yeah. Violence in Springfield. They did a report the other day, most violent cities in New England. Springfield was number 3. Worcester, where I live now, was number 8. Boston wasn't even in the top 10. Springfield's per capita, the murders, the gun crimes, they are through the roof. Well, what do we think is going on? Well,
Hampden County is one of the most arrested counties. That's why MGM had to go and have these forums and ask the commission to change some of these laws on a legislative level. That's why Jafet, before he passed, he worked on with the city of Springfield and in conjunction with MGM to make sure that some of these individuals could get jobs, because legit, if you if you check the numbers, there's a lot more people than you think walking around with criminal offense, specifically with gun violence. Just the other day, a couple kids got caught with some guns, and it's just people just don't feel safe. There's it's not a secret that Springfield, where I represent specifically down in the North End, is one of the most impoverished areas in the state of Massachusetts.
In the heart of the Latino community of Springfield.
70% of my district is Latino. Moving forward, but
so this is for y'all. This is what JP and Mission Hill and parts of Roxbury and the Via Victoria and East Boston sort of today is for Springfield.
So then you look at there has been an alarming rate of murders in the past 5 years. I would say that the community doesn't really have a trust for the police, but there's been this initiative that Shai, myself, and a couple of us volunteer and go to. It's called the C3 Initiative, that engages the community a little bit more better with police, and tries to kind of better understand what are the struggles and how can they clean up. Since the C3 has started, I know that crime has fallen in double digits, but murders are still kind of steadfast, and necessary gun violence, and a little bit of people getting caught with the mufflers.
So so when we talk about gun violence, I want to say, is it 3 or 2 of the largest gun manufacturers in the world are both right near Springfield? Smith & Wesson, what's that other one?
Salvage Arms, I think it's in Westfield. They do rifles.
So it is 3. What's the third one? There's another one, not Salvage Arms, not Smith & Wesson. Is it Northrop Grumman? Which one?
I'm not positive.
There's another one.
The 2 that I know of for sure in Springfield, we have big, Smith & Wesson, and we have Salvage Arms that's out in Westfield. The other one, maybe it's close to us, but
it's in the burbs, but it's right near Springfield.
Probably is close to us. I'm not sure.
I forget which one it is, but they are 3 of the top firms in the country.
Absolutely.
Do we think that's connected to any of this at all?
Not necessarily. A lot of the weapons, though, they're reported stolen, and they're coming from Vermont or down south. It's not like these companies, they're selling these guns through the back door.
That's right.
And but it's easier to attain a weapon from Vermont. Vermont's so close to us. We're like a 40-minute drive, 50-minute drive. Over there, you just need a license to grab a gun and then come back down. And the thing is, the feds are all over that, but it's just a lot of people hopping over the border or getting their weapons. It's hard, man. I know there's a lot of legislation out there to stop gun violence, but it's really difficult to combat, illegal firearms. But I am a person that if you can carry legally, I think you should, or you could.
But so that's a good point. I mean, because in their defense, they don't make in any one warehouse the gun. They make pieces in different places. It's not like one warehouse that if you broke in, there's 938s in there. It's not that. It's that they make the pieces. But I was still wondering what's the weird connection. But I kind of think you cleared it up, because for anyone from the B knows, all the guns, Vermont is one of the top places where you can get a gun and bring it. You can go to pawn shops. If it ain't Vermont, it's Florida and Pennsylvania. We don't like driving that far. Yeah. Those are the 3 states that I bet you are 3/4 of the guns are from those places.
Yeah, exactly.
Because dudes go, we've been there. We're reformed. We're trying to do better. But it's like someone goes to one of those 3 states and makes the drive and, grabs 15 guns. We call them hammers. Yeah. And then drives back and sells them at 10 times the money. I'm
going to be honest, man. When I was a kid, it was shocking to me. Because before I was a council member, I used to work for the Y, and I was used to work at the North End Youth Center. And a lot of the kids there grew up in the North End, and they can get a gun faster than they could probably get a job. It's funny. It was so easy for them to touch a weapon.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that I was shocked, because I knew growing up, there was some gang violence in the 90s, and that kind of quieted down for a while. And then when my generation kind of came up, we kind of knew better. We're a little bit wiser. And then the younger generation, for some reason, when I was in the street, I'm telling you, some of these individuals and kids, I'm talking about 15, 16 years old, they say, yo, we got something to show you. I'm like, take that out of here. Get that out of the park.
Yes.
Do whatever you got to do. Just get it away from me. And it would be scary, because these were kids that were in my program, and once I left the program, they still see me engaged in the community at these basketball tournaments and around. And I'm just wondering, like, how do you get your hands on that kind of weapon? Like young kids, young people.
Oh, yeah.
It was shocking. It was alarming.
One thing, and I want you to speak to this, because one thing that I think creates more violence is over-incarceration, especially juvenile incarceration, because when you get them early, they start going back and forth to jail. I got arrested the first time, I think I was 12, and next thing you know, it's like back and forth to jail. I couldn't stay home for 6 months. And when y'all started that school-to-prison pipeline, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not trying to slander the Springfield Public School Department, but they were around in the 300s on their arrests a year. Does that sound right? Per year,
it depends on who
Springfield
you
Public
ask.
Schools.
Yeah, it was a high number. It was an alarming rate. The ACLU did a study in 2010 in Springfield, Holyoke, and Worcester. I want to say it was Worcester. They had the highest arrest per capita in the state. So Springfield was like number one.
Yeah, no, Springfield definitely was number one. But was it 300-ish a year?
It was around 300.
It was up there, yeah.
But that number has fallen.
It's fallen dramatically. But there's still a lot of some unanswered questions, I think, about what arrests are and how they're getting arrested. So there was some pushback about our work in the school to prison pipeline, because the mayor did say that, arrests in school did drop, and they did. But we still have officers in schools, and we still have incidents that are happening that they haven't been cleared up or explained. And we still have students who have negative interactions with police officers in the schools. And as a parent, I don't think that's an appropriate space for those interactions to happen at all.
Yeah.
But, we do have all of these crazy things happening in our schools where kids are put in danger, and other parents want to feel safe that their child is, protected. So it's been a really tough subject as far as police officers and interactions in the schools.
We have to know our kids are safe. I remember the year that they rejected that ordinance y'all were trying to pass on the school
MOU
committee. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were reporting numbers for 2 years in a row in the 60s.
Yeah.
Now, is their reporting maybe a little bit flawed? I'm sure, but not flawed to the point where they're that off. I mean, y'all work in a short year, 2 years, had impact.
Yeah.
Even the fact that y'all were just watching and they knew people were on the ass about all these kids getting arrested at school.
But I think, too, a part of it, I don't know, there's no factual evidence about this, but I think part of having those students involved in that campaign and students kind of voicing their own concerns and learning about how things work, it made waves enough for the youth to be able to be like, you know what, this isn't right. I'm going to challenge this.
I thought it was special.
That
it was special
year,
to see
the
kids
kids were pushing back. They were, I was scared I was going to get in trouble. But they were like, they were asking questions of their teachers, and they were coming back to me like, yo, Shai, this and this happened in school today. I can't believe this. Yeah. But I had to talk it over, and I just had to go see a counselor and let them know I know my rights, things like that. So when we were having conversations with the kids,
young people.
It made me feel like, okay, we're doing something to at least these conversations are happening. So I think that had a lot to do with, and then we also had to let them know, like, yo, you can't be wilding in class and flipping tables and not expect some kind of interaction by security, like, hello.
Of course.
So we had to, it was a teaching moment, and I definitely think that we shouldn't lose the momentum now that kind of we got denied our MOU, but we're still working on the school to prison pipeline. We're still educating our students, trying to educate our students and the parents about, what we should do, how we should be involved. Parent engagement is super low in Springfield, and I'm sure across the state, anywhere you want to get parents involved, it's hard. But it's especially hard in communities that are low income. You got high single parent households.
Yes.
You got multiple children in those households. So how do you expect parents to be involved? How do you expect kids to be safe? How do you expect kids to be off the street? If they don't got nobody at home watching them at home, they don't got any after school programs to go to, or mommy can't pay for that, we can't expect, parents to do everything, but they're trying. And there's some that are really trying.
And there's a lot of trauma out there. I mean, the Springfield DCF office is the most overloaded office in the state.
It's ridiculous.
It's really bad out there. A lot of trauma kids are going through, man.
It's ridiculous.
But anyway, shout out to the work y'all were doing because it was fire. And you get to a point where you're in the it's like when a fat person like myself goes on an amazing diet, you have so much to lose, right? Like I could lose 100 pounds before you probably could lose 10, right? Like it's so easy. And so when you're wilding out and completely over policing and you're arresting in the 300s, and all of a sudden people start focusing in on you, calling you out for what you're doing, making it public, and the next thing you drop so drastically, yes, I'm sure some numbers are being fudged, but if 60 is really 100, you still went from 350 to 100. And that means that it was so bad for so many years. And then y'all put the spotlight and it drastically changed. I mean, is 100 too many? Yes, that's 100 too many kids that are getting arrested in the Springfield public schools, but it was bad.
One of the questions was, what makes an incident an arrestable offense?
Yeah, that wasn't clear.
And that wasn't clear, so that was one of the part of the MOUs that they were working on. But I think they did some really good work behind it. Shout outs to Putnam and the kids that are now young adults that are still involved with the chapter. They all graduated. But
shout out to Isaiah. I don't know if he's watching, but
in terms of what's counted as an arrest, shout out to state representative for I think the 10th Hampden, Carlos Gonzalez, who when we passed criminal justice reform last April, he inserted into the bill and got pushed language around arrests in schools. Remember that? That was such a big deal.
Shout out to my state representative.
That's your state rep. And when he got in, he saw the work. Now look, for all transparency, me and Jafet were team opposite. And it was just two amazing people. This happens sometimes, right? Carlos was running against somebody who was also amazing. And we thought, we wanted to empower Latinas. And so me and Jafet were on another team, but he was amazing from day one. We knew that before. When he got in, he was immediately engaging of us. And look what he did. He took the work that Jafet had been championing, and he put that to work. And one of the pivotal moments of the criminal justice was when we got a meeting with the chairman of the Judiciary Committee.
I remember
Carlos
that.
got us that meeting.
Yeah.
And it was Carlos, and it was Jafet, and me, and Adam, and Emily. Shout out to Emily Rodriguez and Pioneer Valley Project.
That was a good meeting.
We went there and met with him. Like, Carlos brought 5 people 2 hours away to meet a chairman who was a state representative from Milford. He don't know nothing about no damn Springfield. He ain't seen that many Puerto Ricans in what time in a room.
Yeah, he sat with us, and we had some really good conversations, and we talked about how criminal justice, the criminal justice reform would obviously help us and help people just like us. But then we told him our stories, and he leveled out with us, and he understood us. And I always really be thankful for that time, because from that time we've seen kind of a shift. I would like to believe that from our personal stories that that really impacted him. And they did a lot of good work. Shout outs to Carlos Gonzalez and the rest of the reps that made that real. And it was a good day. It was a good day.
Definitely.
It was.
Definitely. All right, so I want to move to something that I had on here called #BabyTrump. Do we got a call? Oh, okay. Call in. Feel free to call in. There's a number on there? Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic.
#BabyTrump. We do have a call. All right.
All right.
Who that? Who there?
Hello.
Who that?
Hello.
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 Hello. Who are you?
Hello.
Sound like this is one of Shy homegirls or something. Why your cousin calling on Wildin'? Why your sister calling on here? Yo, who that? Who there? You on the air, ma?
You live and direct.
Hello?
Yeah, what's going on, man? What's up? Who's this? Yo, hello. Who this?
What's happening? What is happening?
Yo, call back.
All right,
right?
we're
Call
clicking
back.
up. Call back if you want to call back. We want to talk to you. Don't
Thank
just
you
say
for
hello.
calling. Thank you for calling.
Hello,
Appreciate it.
boo. Who are you, though?
All right. So you were saying hashtag
yo,
what?
Man, #Baby Trump, #Mayor Trump. What's up with y'all Trump supporting mayor? What's up?
Well,
They're doing the Democratic convention this summer in Springfield. they're cutting him out of it for the first time. It's a pretty big thing when it happens. Local mayor gets snubbed like that. And it's because he's been anti-immigrant. He shot down your ordinance, tried to. He's been some Trump-supporting mayor. What's up?
So in the DNC, there's specific bylaws and rules that when you go outside of your party and you endorse candidates that are not within your party, obviously you can be, I guess, the word I'm going to use is like excommunicated. It's like thrown out of heaven. Excuse me. But and then they also had stipulated it was on a little bit have to do with the stance on the Welcoming City Trust Ordinance that shout outs to the Resistance Center, ACLU.
You led that. You
PVP.
were the sponsor.
I'm going to get to that point.
All right.
PVP and Neighbor to Neighbor. There was a lot of supporting organizations that were around the way pushing the ordinance. But the ones that actually were helping with the language and aside from me filing it, and, shout outs to the co-sponsors, Jesse Letterman, Justin Hurst, Orlando Ramos, and Michael Fenton. But, this is something that we've been working on for a little while. About 3 years out, we did a resolution on May Day. About 2016, and then we filed an order having to do with because the mayor had also called the code enforcement on the church that we had sanctuary at for Gisela Collazo. Shout out to PVP.
Shout out. What's that church?
It's South Congregational Church
shout
on Maple Street.
Shout out to South Congregational on Maple Street. Love that church. We used to do our Jobs Not Jails meetings there.
Yep.
And shout out to the Pioneer Valley Project, Emily Rodriguez and Tara Parrish, who've been doing some amazing work.
So then from there we started working on this piece of legislation in group with a lot of other organizations out there, even in Northern Pioneer Valley, where they do a lot of immigrant work, like Pioneer Valley Worker Center, and from there we moved forward and we pushed it. We got the votes. It got vetoed, and then a lot of incorrect information.
He vetoed it, y'all. Let me just be clear. The Springfield City Council passed a welcoming ordinance to make sure that immigrants were safe in their communities. And the conservative Democratic Mayor, Dominic Sarno, a.k.a. #BabyTrump, #Mayor Trump, vetoed that ordinance.
Yeah, he vetoed the ordinance. And then from there was like a lot of incorrect information. I know there was like a lot of federal numbers, but shout outs to Mayor Marty Walsh. I got to get him on the horn, talk to him about some impact numbers and uptick when it comes to like education or anything in general that came to once he made his what's that called? His executive order. And then I spoke to Narkowitz from Northampton. Shout outs to him. And then Alex Morris, mayor from Holyoke. He even wrote a letter. There wasn't nothing alarming. That the information that was getting put out was actually like not correct. So then they were saying that we're going to lose the JAG grant. It's a public safety grant, the burn. And there was an adjudication out of New York City, ironically, that Friday right before a meeting. So it was like there was like so much divinity during this process with things coming in our favor. And we got it across the finish line in January. So, shout outs to the 9 counselors or the 10 counselors that rode with us. And I'm sorry that, some of the other counselors got a little bit of a negative feedback from it. But
whatever.
Difference of opinion, that's all it is. But we're going to move on, and there's still more work to get done. That's just one of them, and one of those ordinances that we worked on. So I'm really proud of it. I really stand by it, and I really wish people would just, if they want to learn more about what it is and not, negative rhetoric, then they could give me a call, and we can sit down and have a cup of coffee.
Word. Shai, something to add on that?
No, I mean, I was just going to say that Adam also educates via Snapchat because he gave me a whole history lesson one time over Snapchat. I was like, what? This is really happening? So
these damn millennials, man, and the social media stuff.
He's definitely a good resource.
We got Snapchat. We got counselors on Snapchat. Think about this, people. Your city counselor is on the Snap.
Oh, man, I'm
popping on the Snap.
I'm on all social media platforms, man. That's something that I use to my benefit.
It's free. Why not?
And at the end of the day, shout outs to our Register of Deeds, first female.
Cheryl Coakley Rivera.
Color elected Cheryl Rivera. She said, Calvin, we miss you out here. So that means you got to drop by and come go check her out.
Miss y'all. We'll see.
But
miss
no,
for sure.
I love Cheryl.
We have to engage people in all ways. media is something strong that we need to utilize, specifically when it comes to information. And I try to not be, I don't know, I try to give everybody the respect to speak their mind, but essentially facts are facts. And one thing, a way that we can use our facts is through social media and making sure that these videos and these shows like this are out there, and podcasts, so people can get the right information and not the false narrative.
I want to move on to something in terms of the Springfield police, man. And Sha, I want you to start with us on this, because I used to be shook at this when I was in Springfield as a parent of a young Latino child, and you have a young man of color that you are raising. And it gets me shook. We all do have men of color that we're raising, and it really gets me shook. Springfield every year, when I first came down in 2009, it was the ward elections, and I was coming down, and a lot of friends from Boston were like, don't go. They were like, you're bugging. That is Selma,
scared.
Springfield, they called it. Selma, like Selma, Alabama. Y'all were called. And then let me just say this. The number one case of retribution, the first case of retribution against Obama's election, do y'all know where it was?
It was right there in Wilbraham.
That church.
The
they
church.
burned down
The
a
black
black
church.
church in Springfield.
Yeah.
The
Well, it was
first case of reverse terror, of terrorism.
Same night.
The same night of Obama's election was the burning of a black church in Springfield. And the 5 white boys that did it got convicted a couple years ago. They had gotten officially sentenced. It took a couple years. Look at how that white privilege works. But it took a couple years, and they got sentenced. But they burned the black church in Springfield. But the Springfield police, every year, they have a case where they're paying out between $1 and $5 million on settlements because people are getting beat up by the police. What's up?
I don't even know, man.
You want me to?
This man has all the history on it, all the context.
There's just been a lot of issues, and a lot of my colleagues feel the same way, specifically when it comes to the Springfield Police Department, and you talking about the police brutality issues. And honestly, there has been alarming amounts of money being settled out of court, or the courts.
Feels like every year somebody getting a couple
something.
million.
And some of them stem back to before that I was a council member. So a lot of these things that we have to be,
And I also think that there's I'm sorry to cut you.
Louder than the mic.
I think that we're also feeling some of the changes that we were trying for a while ago. We're starting to feel those shifts now. I have mixed.
We've passed the same ordinance twice.
Police.
We've passed the same ordinance twice, and hasn't been signed by the mayor. And he gives us a fight on it, on bringing back the police commissioner, and who's policing the police. And it's not saying that the council is not pro-police and that we don't engage with the police department. That is totally false. I want to make that clear. It's the fact that we need to have people to hold them accountable. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that the commissioner is doing a bad job, but essentially when it comes to not only that alarming amounts of money is being settled out of court with some of these individuals, the problem is that some of these cops are still police officers. That's some of the issue, but and that has to do with collective bargaining and the time frame of how things come out. It's really an uncomfortable situation, and some people, the way they just deal with it is just saying, all blue lives matter, and we can understand it's dangerous for people and police officers to be in the line of duty, but at the same time, it's dangerous for a man of color when you have a sucker with and I'm gonna say it like that, somebody that got picked on his whole life, and then all of a sudden he turns into Superman, and he gets shook because a person just is somebody that he's not comfortable with. And I'm not saying this has
get you a tight shirt and a gun.
Boom. And I got a lot of law enforcement family. Shout outs to all of them that put their name on the line. My mom was a police commissioner.
We all do.
My parents are veterans. I'm totally, understand the dangers of it. But I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of young police officers now. Shout outs to them. The new cadets coming in. They understand what's going on, and they understand that conversation. And Jafet used to talk to a lot of those young cops and transform some of that conversation and transform them into really doing the job, making sure that a lot of the stuff that they do, even though a call comes in, doesn't mean that it's an arrestable call. It's just you got to go over there and problem solve it, and that's what's going on now. That's why there's a lot of drop in crime, because now these police officers that are coming in, young people that understand it, men of color, because right now Springfield Police Department has hired an overwhelming amount of women and people of color.
Yep, it's good.
And these folks are going into the neighborhoods, which I think is really strategic, that they grew up in, and I think that's something big that the commission is doing. But at the same time,
and they're also trying to inform their training.
Louder in the mic.
Their training and things that are around mental health and trauma. And
Hub and Core. Shout out to Hub and Core, Jesse Letterman, Justin Hurst.
Will you stop shouting out that little young white boy? This ain't the platforms where we do that. No shout out. Jesse Letterman is a great white hope of the left in Springfield. He has enough love. You don't need none.
But the policy he's talking about is Hub and Core, and Justin and I signed on in collaboration with him and Angelo Pupolo, just to give you a little bit
Tell
behind
us about that. Shy, speak up, my sister.
I get
mental health and trauma. What's up?
Yeah, so I don't even know where to start. I get really passionate about it. That's why I didn't want to say anything. But
I be fit. It comes. Your energy is powerful.
So a lot of some of these incidents where police officers, they get scared and they react. It could be from mental health, undiagnosed mental health issue, or addiction, or there's a bunch of trauma that happens before something pops off when a police officer is called. So now that they are I don't know the language, I don't want to say the language wrong, but they are informing the police officers around what mental health looks like and addiction looks like, and when there's somebody in need and how to get those services. So part of that is related to the C3 work that's happening, where they have Springfield police officers, like you said, going back to where they grew up, and they're being involved directly in those same communities. So it provides a level of relational building that I think it creates a little bit better trust. So we're really trying to reestablish trust with the police in Springfield and our community members, and just making our neighborhoods safer, making sure that our neighborhoods know that they own them. They are part of that community, and they need to protect their community.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. I just think about even that time. I hate to do it again, but even that time, we are at not Democracy Brewing. No, we are at Down the Road Beer Company, in Everett. So shout out to Down the Road Beer Company. Ain't this kind of fat?
Yeah, this is really cool.
I think this is an awesome establishment. I would like to give my thanks that they give you the opportunity to, economic development and, brewing is something that we got going on. I want to shout out a brew company from Springfield, White Lion Brewing.
Shout out to White Lion.
Man, I got to connect you with these folks, man. They're doing something special up here, and I know you are too. And shout outs to all the people that just believing in the dream and just trying to make it happen. What it is you got to believe in yourself first, and this is how it starts.
This is fire, though, right?
Oh my God!
We got all these kegs behind us, man. This is a real life situation.
I've been at a brewery, but these are big.
This is ill.
This is nice.
So I wanted to get into this this segment.
I don't even like how you said that.
Right.
We call it Sounds About White.
Oh.
It's when something sounds about white. It sounds like what happens over there. Actually, before we do that, presidential election. Before we do that, I am all team E-Dubs. I'm so excited for her. I want her to be the president. What do y'all think? She made her announcement today in Lawrence. Oh, man. What do y'all think? Shai, start first.
I think it's dope. I mean, to have a woman from Massachusetts in the running, I think it's dope. I'm just excited that she announced it finally.
We in. It's in.
Yeah.
She's going down.
We from Massachusetts. We gonna go hard, or go home, but hopefully we just going hard,
So
Two things I want. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
My bad. You talk about my people, so I gotta, let it show and let it be known that Adam Gomez, Springfield City Council Ward 1, is definitely with this one. Definitely with her. Shout outs to the top dog, Josie Valentine. She has tremendous respect for Western Massachusetts.
Shout out to Josie.
She hired somebody from Western Massachusetts. A lot of times in politics in the state, we feel like we have been left out, but I think it was so important to give an opportunity like somebody like Josie, and EW's been there for every step of the way with Hurricane Maria.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of qualified candidates. There's a crazy pool of candidates, but legit, she's invited me and to the conversation. She's always been respectful when it comes to my ward and understanding the things that we want to fight for. And her politics is my politics. So legit, I hope I hope nothing for the best, and I'm gonna try to do what I can to make her victorious in this campaign.
Right.
Yeah, I love her, man. Like when she first ran, I was helping run an operation in Springfield in 2012. And what I loved about her is that she came to the hood a lot. Whenever she was around, she came through the hood. And not just to Springfield, but she came through the hood. We brought her to the Puerto Rican bakery. That was fire. We had mad people in there. She in there shaking hands. She bought a little flan.
Oh, she got the flan
She
going?
bought
Okay.
a flan at the Puerto Rican bakery in Springfield.
She know what it
always
is.
came through the hood. And I always appreciated that in 2012, that was the first time I had seen so many people of color hired on a campaign.
Yeah.
Hired.
She's
She
definitely
hired us.
she's given a lot of people opportunity, a lot of people of color, specifically, I'm always going to give shout outs, man. Everett, that's my brother.
Shout out to Everett, Big Sexy, Sexual Chocolate.
My man dances the ill salsa. But she's had a lot and given a lot of opportunity during her campaign and on the Senate side. She's given a lot of opportunities to kids in my neighborhood, like Josiah Gonzalez. He was on the Senate side during her campaign, and he got
Shout
the
out to
intern over
Sasha
there.
Jimenez.
Sasha
Oh, yeah,
Jimenez, my
Sasha.
cousin.
We got it. Shout out to
Sasha had
Sasha.
everybody
yo.
doing canvassing. Not
She-
canvassing,
talk about
but
a
She
hood
built
body.
knock your
She-
phone
she
call,
built up the
everything.
Springfield chapter, the Springfield side of things, and she did so well that they had moved her, I think, to Chicopee to bring those numbers up. And that whole team from Springfield to Holyoke did such a great job. But shout out to Sasha, man, because honestly, she killed it.
Let me tell you, I had members that helped volunteer, and I sent them. Some of them I spent when she went to Springfield. They just wanted to go there because they had gone the week before, and I never forget it. One person that we got to come for the first time to help canvass was so impressed just seeing her there. Young Latina that had come for the first time, and I love those kind of stories where she just was like, it was so dope to see someone who could be me or my mom's
Understood.
in that role. And she was like, oh, I'll come again. And she came like twice again. And it was on the
Nice.
strength of
That's
just
nice.
seeing Sasha.
That's nice. That's real good.
That's dope.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, y'all going to do a podcast together.
Well,
I'm trying to
we
make
need a
that happen,
Momcast.
Sasha.
We need a momcast. Sasha, we need you and this amazing one here, the two
It's official.
goddesses
We
to
calling
do
you
it.
out right now. We have to make this happen. I said it today. What's today's date? February 9th.
The 9th. Speaking of calling out, can we talk about the ultimate Rico Suave of Springfield, Carlos? And tell us about this thing, Shy.
Oh, no.
Tell us about no, you broke the T. Yo, Carlos, Shy put you on
Okay,
blast. Shy was putting you on blast.
I just remember what we're talking
Carlos.
about now. Let's
Listen.
go.
You on that Summer Jam screen right now. Go
Listen.
ahead.
I didn't mean to put you on blast.
Speak loud.
I did not mean to put you on blast, Carlos. However, I seen your appearance in the American Family Dreamer series by Steven Sticks. Yeah.
Shout out
it's
to
on,
413.
How are you on Amazon Prime?
It's
Uh-huh.
on Amazon Prime. It's a shameless plug. My cousins are in
Give them a
it. Mad
plug.
Springfield people are in it. It's a Springfield production. It's a short series on Amazon Prime called American Family Dreamer. So you go on Amazon Prime, type that in, you'll see it. You might recognize some other faces up in there. Sonia, India, Greg, Cuba. Yeah, all y'all. And yeah,
So
Carlos.
this
check
is
it
a
out.
Springfield production.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I think that's big. I
Who's
didn't even
producing
realize
it?
it.
Steven Six. I don't want to say his last name. Josie. I don't want to say his last name.
How you
wrong.
spell it?
Jossey.
Steven Sticks Josie.
I think it's Josie.
They call
Yeah.
him Sticks.
All right. Well, shout outs
That's
to him.
fat, man.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty awesome. You got it on Prime.
So you gotta go stream it and watch it.
Shout outs to
and
everybody that's on the show from the 413, man.
See
Show
Big
some love.
Willie Carlos.
Big Willie Carlos.
Nah, but it's a dope little show. You know, they doing their thing. Putting Springfield
Suma's
out
going
there.
in. I'm
Oh,
on.
look, he found it already. He found it. We put the link on it on Amazon. Yo, we showing y'all
Alright.
love. Y'all should throw us some dollars for some promotion.
Free promotion.
Shout out to
Welcome.
Disrupt Boston for giving y'all this plug. That's all
Alright.
I'ma say. Oh, and shout out, oh my God, Murphy, Nican. That is crazy. That is so crazy. The New England Cannabis Convention
Oh yeah.
is coming, and they have a stops in Springfield. We got to get these guys to the
Well,
Springfield one.
Yeah, welcome.
They have stops in Springfield. June, I thought. Oh, I thought it was
isn't
June,
October.
but yeah, maybe. Okay. And Boston is which day? March 22nd to the 24th. And Disrupt Boston, are we in there? Are we going to be able to do interviews and stuff like we did for the CannaCon? Oh, snap.
Wow. Shout out to the squad. Your squad is there. I probably won't be there because it's so far, but when you come to Springfield, I'll be there.
When we go to Springfield, we will have y'all back on. Sticks, yes, he received. Oh, Yolanda says he received an award from the state. What was that? What was that award, Deep?
Who, Steven?
Yeah, she said. Sticks. Yes, he received an award. Steven Sticks Josie. You were totally right.
All right.
Steven Sticks Josie, and she says he got an award from the state for what he did. But yo, man, shout out to Springfield Productions. Not that that's the name of the company, but just saying productions need to be happening in Springfield. Shout out to my homie Christian King, who just said, Calvin, we need you in Worcester. We miss you. We did a Worcester show, my brother, but shout out to the homie Christian King and Sarai Rivera, the most amazing Worcester City Councilors.
Talk about brother Christian. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Yo, okay. So, what did y'all think about, and I'm glad Josie's with, shout out to Josie. I'm so glad, the troll in me is super glad that Josie's with Elizabeth Warren because I hated who she was with last time, Bernie Sanders.
We both were on the Bernie train, and we're with Bernie.
Y'all were burning.
We're still burning
Y'all were burning. You had the little hashtag, Bernie made me so white. And
hey, I'm going to keep it.
You didn't hit the hashtag, but Josie did.
I actually ran for one of his
Bernie
delegates.
made me so white.
I didn't believe that, but to each his own. You have your opinion.
But you ran for delegate. Did you make it on?
No, I actually lost.
Who got elected?
So it was Josie, Soul Fighter. I kind of completely forgot his name. Maurice Taylor, and then it was Karen Harmsman.
Soul Fighter. He was killing them 1990s messages. Remember the 1990 message that it was like R&B?
So we had a good group of people that were elected.
Whatever.
We had a good group of 3 people that went down there and did their thing, but Bernie had a great movement. I think that other candidates
has a better movement.
I think that we can capitalize and make sure that we get the right person in there that people can trust. I think people just need to let go of the fact that for so many years she identified with being an American Indian. I think she cleared that up. She apologized for it. But moving forward, aside from that, she's on the same page, man. She's moving. I just think
I don't know that can I be honest with y'all? I don't know that I care about that. First of all,
I don't really. It doesn't bother me.
The 2 times that she used it was not to get into nothing. That's what people get confused.
Yeah.
The common thought is that she used this to be counted as some black woman or counted as an Indian woman that would to get her something. Yeah. It wasn't to get anything. It was just a way in which she was trying to be identified. And so when someone legitimately has some blood. Legitimately, you have blood. You have a story of a granddad and a grandmom, and of one person's family not wanting them to marry the other person because that person had American Indian blood. Mm-hmm. That's real stuff. That's not fake. You know what I mean? She's not faking it. And then she wants that because she knows that there's trauma in her family because of that. She then wants it to be noted. So whenever it can be noted, she makes note that she has American Indian blood. And I don't know that I'm mad about that. What do you think, Shai?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm mad about that either. I mean, she's been way more outspoken on things that I support than the American Indian blood issue. So it's not in the forefront of my mind.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. And I'm okay with somebody wanting a certain piece of blood highlighted. If you know what I mean? If you had something.
It's not like Rachel Dolezal issue.
Thank you.
So if
she
it
ain't
was
transracial, and there's transracial people out here.
Listen, we're not gonna do that.
We're not gonna do
that.
I've been holding back. I'm not gonna do it. But there's a lot of y'all running around transracial.
Oh my God.
I can't do that, man.
I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I ain't gonna do it.
Don't do it with me. I keep it 100.
I know. No. I ain't gonna, because I know y'all will dive, and we'll dive deep, and it'll be from a big building. I ain't even gonna go there. Mm-hmm. What did we feel about Bernie doing the thing after Stacey Abrams. I was mad about that. I felt like he could have. This was the one. I agree with, like, Tim Kaine is doing it. F Tim Kaine. Joe Biden wants to do it, or one of these like establishment white guys. F them. But when it's Stacey Abrams, the homie that's a democratic socialist like him, that shares all of his values, and he still needed to speak after her. Could we not, Shai, are we wrong for saying that this was the time he needed to fall back?
Listen, I'm all for putting women first and women of color and letting them have their spotlight, and I felt like that kind of took away from her space holding, and that's what I didn't like.
I was upset.
I just think sometimes that
just leave it.
Respectfully,
it was fine. This was the time to just leave it.
Exactly.
Yeah, respectfully, he could have stepped back. There's a lot of things that people should take the lead on, and not all the time you got to be on the forefront. He's been on the forefront of a lot of great things. Yeah. I think this particularly, people should have just respected that the Democratic Party, or not call it his own. And I think one thing that I had a problem with when he came out and said that he's the original sponsor of the Green New Deal. That's fine. We already know that
that
you've been
was
part
some
of the
hateration. I'm glad I forgot about that. Let's get into that.
Yeah, so
Go ahead.
So
Go
it's
ahead.
just he just said, I just want to make clear that I'm the original. And it's like, listen, it's fine. Just say that you support it. And I understand. A lot of people know that he was the originator. But essentially, it's like to say that it's like you're clearing something up. Like if you're waiting to do something, people are waiting for you to, stand on something and say, hey, listen, I'm going to run or I'm not going to run. But, I like Bernie, but just those two instances when it comes to, putting women in the forefront, just let them have their time, because, you're consistently in the media regardless.
Right.
And, you can just say, listen, I support it. And he did state that, but just that statement in the beginning, I'm the original.
You had to say it. He had to say it. That's that white male ego.
It's like in the hood when
somebody.
It's like the like in the hood when you grew up and you said, listen, those Jordans you just got? Ben had those.
Exactly.
It's like I got them still in the shoebox.
Before Shai, I want you to hit your thoughts on this, but in case anyone doesn't know, that AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, has been really doing. Shout out to her. Shout outs. She's been doing the Green New Deal, right? She's calling for this real investment into the green economy that could really lift America up. And they were talking to Bernie about it, right? And then he had to. He said that he supported her, but when they said, what do you think about AOC's Green New Deal? He had to say the white man was coming out. And he had to say, I support it. By the way, I'm the original proponent of the Green New Deal. He had to say that, and it just hurt.
He wanted that credit. I think he's feeling a little left out. Everybody's like, AOC, AOC, AOC. You hear? But she came from Bernie. Like, she was a descendant of that work. And she's always talked about Bernie. So, like, she's definitely giving him his credit. But let this woman...
Majority of the...
have her time to, organize.
You hear it from Shai.
I love her.
Reclaiming my time.
For real.
Just so you know, Bernie... From amazing black women like Stacey Abrams, amazing Latina like AOC, amazing both like Shaitia Spruell, amazing black and brown women are telling you, be humble, bitch, sit down. In my best Kendrick voice. Go ahead, what were you about to say?
I don't know.
And are y'all tired of that from us, even from men of color? Like, are y'all tired of us needing to jump up, of us needing to jump in, and needing to have our voices so heard and taking credit for things?
Yes.
I try to keep women of color around me all the time. I think letting them lead, and my campaign managers, and working with Shaitia, working with leaders, women, even when the day comes that I'm not going to be a city councilor no more. I would love to see a woman of color in my seat, and more women of color on the council. So, shout outs to Shaitia.
Well, do you want to talk about why there's not women on the council?
Let's talk about it. Boom, go ahead. Lay it down.
Well, yeah, of course. Let's open it up.
So
it's dangerous letting black and Latina women speak like that when you tell them speak
out.
Oh,
let them. You gotta give them that power.
It's going to happen regardless. So,
She telling me that on my show. That's what a black or Latina woman will let you know. She will tell you what's going to happen in your car, in your apartment, on your damn show.
Reclaiming my time. Anyway, so women typically we're mothers at this point, right? When we're thinking about what we want to do, how we want to help our communities, we usually are already mothers. I mean, or we have some mentorship capacity. You know, there's somebody that we're looking out for. But in my case specifically, like, I have to really consider the time that I put into a campaign, what the time I'm going to put with my kid. I'm a single mother, so, and we can't use campaign finances for childcare when we're running.
I think you can.
Now.
Yeah, you can now, yes.
Did that pass?
It wasn't like a new law. I think it was like a ruling, I think.
They changed it.
I think. Okay.
So for a long time, we couldn't use that, but you can use funds for cleaning a tuxedo or dinner with staff.
Oh, no, we can't do that no more. We can't do that no more. We can't get no
Tuxedos?
suits or get cleaning.
You was trying to get you a suit, huh?
But I use
No,
that as an example.
I just want to throw that out there. We do not pay for suits or get cleanings.
Oh, my God. The point
Disclaimer.
is that there was a lot more freedom for men to run, and there was no accommodations for women and single parents to run. Yeah. And that is a deterrent. And not only that, in Springfield specifically, the salary that you're compensated is not enough to the amount of work that you would have to commit to and the amount of time that you have to spend away from your family and your job, your full-time job, because you're not making enough to cover living expenses on just being a part of the city council. Why would I want to add that layer of struggle to my life if I'm already a single mother? Why would I even go into that? No matter how much I love my community.
I just think that some people just need a great support system, and you know it's tough. And when you make those choices, you know if you want to be in elected office, there is challenges specifically when it comes to young moms, and single mothers. I mean, and even with single fathers, because I know that if I didn't have that support,
young children.
No,
and I'm willing to say, as a man of color, I'm willing to say with another man of color who I support wholeheartedly, and I want to see you grow, and I can't wait for the next election to support you. I say that even to men, even men of color, be humble, bitch, sit down. Like, we need to just be comfortable. I remember in 2007, there was an election, and there were multiple people who lived in the area, and some people wanted me to run. And I saw this Latina who was just better. Right. It made more sense. She reflected the community. She was a mom. She had been there longer than me. And it hit me that, like, the thing that I needed to do, and I'm not saying that I would have won if I would have jumped in, but what came to me like an epiphany very early, because I feel like my spiritual calling is to protect and uplift the goddess.
Amen.
I was like, yo, I don't want to do this. First of all, I don't want to do this. It should be her. And then second of all, I now want to dedicate myself, because I see that happen too quick. It's so easy to find another male political, another black or Latino male political who got it all ready, who's ready to, you know, do things and empower them. And we have to be ready to just be like, you know what, that's not what I want. I just want to spend my time empowering black and brown women. And that's what I feel like I have done, and I just want to continue doing.
I think that was the thing that I had a problem with when I ran my campaign, was essentially that she was one of the only women and the first Latina ever elected to the city council. So it was tough for me to run against a woman and to honestly try to be as humble and peaceful as possible, even though there was a lot of slander out there. But you know, that wasn't my type of politics. I wanted to respect the woman and not disrespect her in any way, and just run a positive, clean campaign. But essentially, I would love to see a lot more women in our state delegation when it comes to Western Massachusetts. We already have a woman that's a state senator. We have some phenomenal congressmen out here in Boston. It just became, shout outs to Ayanna Presley.
Word, shout out to Ayanna Presley.
And all those women that have come into the game right now all over the state. You know, there was a big group, not only on our federal level, but a lot of women
Boston,
here.
Shout out to Nika Elugardo. Shout out to Liz Miranda. Shout out to Rachel Rollins, who's DA, a.k.a. Thanos. Shout out to Ayanna Presley. Those women bossed up that night.
And over in our side of the Western Mass, we had Sabadosa, and then Cheryl Coakley Rivera. They had some really great.
There was another one, Natalie Blay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Natalie Blay. Shout out to Lindsay
Joe Comerford.
Sabadosa.
Joe Comerford. She's the state senator now that she took over for the old former president.
Damn it! I'm gonna mess this up now that you said Joe Comerford. But here's what I will add. My boss found this and put this out in a political text on Facebook, and it stumped people, but now I'll just give it up for y'all. Jo Comerford, because of where she lives, do you know that she's the first person in Massachusetts history to win a primary in state senate in 2 different districts?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Ain't that hilarious?
People loved her so much that they voted for her because it was a write-in campaign in another district. And because she didn't live in that district, obviously she couldn't hold both seats. But
yo, you see me showing love to some Springfield people. Can you not be mad at me? I hope she's not mad at me. We endorsed Chelsea Klein. And you know what? Chelsea Klein was a boss. Yo, Chelsea Klein's amazing.
I'm gonna be honest with her even being on the ballot. That was I honestly thought she had it. But you know, strong campaigns that were sticker campaigns. People thought that they were gonna do well, and obviously, you seen who kind of came out victorious in a lot of these races that had. There was a lot of sticker campaigns, like overwhelmingly, going on everywhere. You know what I mean?
Shai, what were you about to say? You said you love Chelsea.
No, I just think she's dope.
What are you on, the Women's Commissioner? So you do a lot of important work with women in that region.
How can I forget that title? So I'm a regional commissioner for the Hampden County Commission on the Status of Women and Girls, and she is on.
She's too humble, I'm telling you.
She's mad humble. And this is why they're so much better than us. If she was a man of color right now, she'd have her stuff all on the table. She'd be like, this is what I'm doing. Now she'd be cutting us off left and right. And she's so humble, man. The goddesses, man. Go ahead.
So we do regional work in Hampden County. There's a Massachusetts State Commission that does statewide work, and they push legislation through the House and lobby and do a whole bunch of stuff. But right now we're in the process of hearing, I guess, issues across the state that are concerning to women and girls. We actually have a survey out. I should find the link and post it, but we have a survey on our page that we're looking to collect information about the Hampden County things that are most important to us now. So like the last time we reviewed it was high in housing and child care and employment, things like that we really want to look into and how we can impact policy to make it better for women and girls in Hampden County. But there's regional commissions, so I think Boston has one. Like if you look by county, you can locate your women's commission. So they're doing really good work. We do hearings across the state. It's really, really fun. I like it because it allows me to be at a table, but also like empower other young women to come to these meetings. And
you were doing this thing I saw on Facebook where you talked about a space for people of color. Hosting a space for people of color.
Yes, so that has like snowballed into these huge different projects. So I had a lot of people reach out to me about it, and they want to help me get this done. So I'm exploring a couple of different options. I don't want to give too much away because I want it to be.
Don't think you got to start big. Don't think that people have to pull it in any way.
Yeah.
I was really inspired. I saw the live. I was really inspired and moved by it. I want to support that in any way that I can. I think spaces for women of color are needed, even if I'm not there. I think spaces for moms, I think whatever y'all want to do, you should do.
I just don't want to recreate stuff that hasn't been successful. So I'm really taking the time to fully develop what that will look like. But I definitely think it's important for young people of color to be able to network and mix with, you know, the OGs in the world.
I'm
an
OG
state.
now.
I wasn't looking at him specifically for that, but if that's what you want to say.
I was mad. You know I was mad because I get hit from the Springfield and the Western Mass white lefties be dragging me on the rag and accusing me of reverse racism. One thing which is not even a thing, but one thing that I heard from somebody, and I didn't do it because it was on your page, and I don't like to be that person who like gets into a big fight with a friend on their page. You ever hear that happens? I know because I'm such a troll. But I was so mad. This white guy came in and he was like, I would love to be involved in something like that, but because of the exclusions that you put out there, he said because of the parameters that you set, I'm excluded, I guess. Too bad because it's something I wanted to be in part of. And he was making it sound like he was, and I'm like, yo, I'm not here for white men saying that when a boss-ass woman of color wants to hold a space for us, that you are excluded somehow.
And I'm not even excluding anybody. I just wanted to put in the forefront that it's a place for people of color to come together, because there's not a lot of opportunities for us to be able to come together without it being like what is this? What's happening? They're getting together. Why are they thinking? Why are they talking? You know what I mean? So I wanted it to be.
Why are they thinking? Why are they talking? That's how they think of us. I feel that way.
And I put young out there initially, and then I had to remove the word because older, like those in-betweens, were I can't participate in that. And I'm like, yes, you can. Like, first of all, you're as young as you feel. Hello.
I just look at it. My door is always wide open for anybody.
And
we have set parameters. Say 35 and under.
But we have to intersect. We can't exclude, the 65 plus, because they have experiences that we don't have, and we have experiences that they don't have.
But there's an organization called Mass Senior
knowledge.
Action Council, which big shout out to Mass Senior Action Council.
Good
and guess
people.
what? If you're a 20-year-old, you can't be a part of it. That's not excluding 20-year-olds. That's building a space for seniors. So I don't see it as excluding anybody. I don't think anything has to be inclusive of all. I'm okay with spaces, even if I can't be a part of it. If women of color saying, yo, we want a space and we want to do this where we come together, I'm like, do that and get together. I don't feel bad about that. I feel like, I feel like when you have privilege, like men especially white men, equality or equity feels like oppression.
Yeah.
So when you're a white man and y'all have all these spaces of yourselves, and then a young woman of color says a young space, and then you're like, oh, I'm excluded, I'm oppressed. I'm not with that.
It's corny. I mean, but I'm also not.
I
forgot about that comment. I didn't even address it, because the people who need to be in the space will be in the space, and the people who find it useful will find it useful, or But I definitely. There's two avenues that I'm looking at right now. I want to do some kind of mentoring, collaborative work. So connecting, those people in positions of power, those elected officials of color, with our youth, because as soon as they see somebody who looks like them or comes from their hood, or has similar experiences where they can connect on like a human level, you can see how that transforms a kid's future, like right before their eyes. Because I've seen it, I've done it, and I'm really, really passionate about making those types of opportunities happen. So that was part of it. I'm really good at ideas, but it's the execution that I need help with. So that's where I'm at.
You're a visionary. We all play a role. You are a visionary. You have the ideas and you can hold space. It's okay for you to demand that someone else do their part and help fill in on the execution part.
And then the other space, the other idea is that we have these like I don't know if it would be monthly, how it would look, but it's events that happen often to get these great thinkers and artists and movers and visionaries together to come together, talk about things that matter to them, and start executing things like building businesses, building coalitions, connecting different groups, because we have a bunch of groups that are doing a lot of similar work across the city. We have a lot of people who are like me, who love mentoring and love empowering and love working with young people, and we're all doing our own things. But if we can come together and make some kind of mass movement, some kind of mass action, something to implement an actual change in Springfield specifically, or Western Mass specifically, we are more better in numbers.
Yes. And some of that happens incrementally. It's not that you start a mass movement by saying, I'm doing a mass movement, but more like incrementally building that, so that if there needs to be a space for women of color, if there need to be a space for young people of color, those are needed. And from those, we build and we expand and we include. It's not being exclusive just because you're trying to empower a marginalized group. I'm tired of hearing from white lefties this idea of reverse racism. I get hit for it all the time. It's not a thing. I have people, this guy Charlie Keller from Boston and this woman Nancy Stenberg from Chicopee, and they were hitting me hard, calling me a reverse racist. I was talking about how we needed women and people of color in the presidency, and I didn't want another white dude. I was saying, yo, I'm pass on Bernie, pass on Biden.
We've had 44
in a row. 45 now, right? Isn't this guy 45?
No, he's 45. I didn't get Obama wasn't white.
Word.
So 44 white presidents. Like, why do we need another one? I'm just saying.
Word. And Liz Warren's white, but like,
But she's
women,
a woman.
Yes. And like, so when I said empower them, they started slandering, talking about, oh, you're playing the race card, you're playing identity politics. That's what Nancy was saying. You're playing identity politics. Don't play it with my uterus. She hit me with that.
Oh.
She was like, because I was saying a woman's needed. I was like, yo, she was like, don't play identity politics with my uterus. I was like, damn, fam, you're bugged.
Wow.
That's what she told me.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
gonna get the receipts.
Oh, wow.
You know, I be having
He said, I'm going to get the receipt.
but I think that's important. All right, let's move on to this last segment. Because we got to run out. We can't stay till 10, Brian, just FYI. Tonight's one of the wife works, so at like 9:50, pew, I got to be out.
What time is it now?
It is time check, 9:45.
All right.
So the love doctor. The love. Why you got to sign like that, fam? Why you got to sign like that?
I'm going through some stuff.
Why you got to sign like that, Brian? You see what I'm saying? We here trying to help her out.
Help me out. I don't need no help.
I don't need no help. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. But all right, so the two things I wanted to talk about, because we all have experience in these two things. Number one, dating a single mom. Number two, being a good baby daddy. Where do we start? We can ping pong to the both. Where do we start? Let's just drop some
What about
gems.
dating a single mom?
What about dating a single mom?
What about it? What do y'all want to know?
What's
the question?
How can we do it and be helpful?
Know what the hell you want. How about that?
Know what? Know what?
Know what you want.
Well, we don't know what we want. We're men. Adam,
if
do you know
you
what
are
you want?
entertaining a single mother, you know that it's a package deal. There's a child involved. Do you want to be involved in the child's life or not? And if not, single mothers are pretty damn mature at that point to be like, oh, you don't want to be a stepdad? Cool.
Well,
Either like we can be friends, we can go on dates, we can have a good time, or bye.
Word.
We're really mature people.
Word. What was you gonna say? Eh?
disclaimer, I'm involved with in a 13-year relationship, got 3 kids, but I would think that
3 going on 5, but all right.
nah,
go ahead.
no.
Oh yeah.
You know something that I don't know.
You wilding out.
You know something that I don't know. So I think that there's chances for men to step in roles that they can be strong male role models for some of these kids. A lot of these women that are single, some of them aren't single by choice. Some of these dads are incarcerated or could be they have passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives a chance for somebody that, really cares about a person. When you engage with a woman, I think respectfully they should understand that if they have a child, that's part of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
I do have, reservations specifically because I remember early on in my relationship, not that my girl had any kids, but I had a daughter. So the tables kind of turned, and I waited a little while before she was introduced to my daughter, but that was just me. But I think that, there's a lot of strong women out there, good women, that,
They happen to have children.
They happen to have children. And I think that there's a lot of men out there that could appreciate that. But like she stated, which is to each your own, to each his own, like that's something that
I can't be mad at somebody who doesn't want to be involved with me because I have a
Right.
child. Like I can't. Why am I be mad? Some people have their own reasons and things that I get that, but just you have to be honest with somebody who has a child at the forefront. If you're not sure, you're not sure. But especially if you've been doing it for a while, like I have, it's like I have my own responsibilities. I have things that I have to worry for, and I don't have time to be going back and forth with what you want and what you don't want. So I got bills to pay. Like I got children to feed. Well, one child. I have one child to feed, and like I don't have time to go back and forth and entertain you and take care of you like you're another child anyway. So move along.
Well, damn it, we are a child. I am so
y'all
children.
children.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
I'm
One time I
guilty.
realized how bad it was. One time last summer,
You got sick?
She was I get man colds all the time. But she was we were going to the beach. And Jody was putting, my wife Jody, shout out to my wife Jody, she was putting sunblock on me and the boys, and we were all the same. We're like blocking our faces, closing our eyes. We're like, wait, no. And she's like, get your face in. Damn it, Calvin, you're just like one of the boys. And she's trying to spray us all, and we're all ducking and dodging, and it was.
you got that light skin, baby.
Sad.
You got that light skin, man.
Oh,
You got to protect
You're
it.
protected.
I was so disappointed with myself. I was so disappointed.
It's
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge, man, and I can say is that
Parenting in general.
I'm blessed to be able to be here today because I have support. There's a lot of women out here that just need that support, and they need that. Everybody needs love, man.
Show them queens love, man. And so when I was 22, I was in a relationship with a woman who was like 10 years older than me and had a son that was 11, and I was 23 and he was 11. And we were together like 3 years. I consider that dude my son to this day. I love him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And when he goes to school, shout out to Eddie. He goes to school, Eddie Funes. Shout out to Eddie Funes Jr. He goes to school at Assumption College in Worcester. So it's so cool that he came out to Worcester where he goes to school, so I get to talk to him.
That's
I get
nice.
to see him,
That's
get to
so
hang
cool.
out.
School.
He's been by the house, but I love him. But it's always so weird because whenever I talk to someone from Worcester and they're like Assumption, I'm like, my stepson go there. And they're like, huh? Johnny has a son? I'm like, no, it's complicated. But he's been by the house. My wife made him play the dinner. Like, that's my son forever, man. I love that boy. And you don't divorce or break up with kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, but
some people are
Suma-
mature enough to handle that relationship.
Suma put something and she said, love me, be honest to me, and let's build. You know?
yeah.
I'm
Thank you
down.
for all those single mama quotes. Thank you for those woke and lonely single quotes.
Excuse
but
me?
okay.
You said,
She be having those. Zuma be killing the book with those.
what's that? What's
those
that?
those empowered single
Can we
quotes.
empower other single mothers?
Yes.
For sure.
Sometimes
Yes.
we need to hear it from each other to remind ourselves that we really bad and we got this.
Of course.
And if a dude don't want to be with you because of your child, then he whack anyway.
Yeah, I
Man,
don't,
he
I don't,
whack
I don't
and
like how she's looking at me like if, like.
she giving us
No,
a side
because I'm
eye.
between two men right now who
I
don't
apologize.
understand.
Oh, wait,
what
I
it's
didn't say we
like.
understand. I think I gave you a lot of support. I think I'm with you on that.
Tell us two things we can be doing. We're gonna cut the like baby daddy one. Tell us two things that men can be doing, including ourselves.
How about try being honest?
Be honest, damn it. You some
Up
damn
front,
liars.
like, I just don't
Keep it
understand
100.
why so many people feel the need to lie and fabricate things, especially to people. Women, we follow our intuition. We have these gut feelings. We can't explain it all the time. And if you're anything like me, where
You
you're
guys are
highly
supernatural.
sensitive,
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Seriously, like, people laugh at me when I say, like, I am highly sensitive to moods and vibes and feelings. And if I feel like something's off,
Sound like my girl.
99% of the time,
Because you are
I be
Pacha
right.
Mama, the goddess of earth and life. In the
I
Andes,
feel it
the
in my
Latino
veins. I
people.
feel it weeks before it comes.
That's our goddess, the Latino people of the Andes. That's who she was. She was of the Andes, of the original
Read it.
indigenous people
Look it up.
all around Latin America. Pachamama is the goddess's name, man. That's real.
Amen.
That's real. So what else? What can we do to be helpful? Be honest. Stop lying. Damn it, y'all be lying.
And I don't know, just be present. And when somebody is complaining, like especially if it's a mom, like if she's complaining about something, whether it's little, something about the kid, something that happened in her day that's really frustrating. A lot of the time, single mothers just want to talk. We just want somebody to talk to and listen to us and then make us feel better. Like, just listen. You don't have to respond. You don't have to tell me I'm right. You don't have to tell me I'm wrong.
I was gonna get controversial and get a therapist.
Listen.
Thank you. I was gonna get
I'm
controversial
joking.
and just say I love
joking.
listening to Johnny.
It's weird
it's
if a
hard
therapist
hearing y'all.
rubs your back and gives you a hug and a kiss.
No, the reason, and I'm not clowning
Yes,
you. You
therapists
know what?
should
You're
not be
absolutely
doing
right.
that. Wait a
Sometimes people
minute.
conversing and,
I mean,
and
if I
trying
can
to
find a man
understand.
who's a therapist,
That's not fair.
I'm single for the
No,
record.
because then he's gonna be shrinking you at home.
Yeah. So my
That's
mom,
fine.
my
Shrink
mom
me.
is actually a
Shrink
shrink.
me.
So
Let me know that you're listening.
my mom's actually a shrink. So whenever I would talk to her, she would like try to
Is
medicate
she?
me or
She's a
something.
shrink.
My mother, she's a therapist, and she deals with
She-
children that
the
go through
best type of
traumatic
mom.
she goes through traumatic experience. I apologize. So you know, I think it's important sometimes because probably men, and this is one thing that we don't talk about, and there's things that we don't talk about as men, and I think that, you know, maybe we need therapy as well. And
Yes.
and my girl,
So much.
Don't be afraid of therapy.
my girl has hit me up because she wants me to go to therapy because obviously there's some things that, you know,
You certainly need therapy.
no, that's fine, and to own
I do
that,
too. We do.
and to
I
own
think we
that, to
all
be
can
like,
benefit from
sometimes
it.
you need sometimes people to talk to, especially myself. Like I've lost so many people in my life very close to me, and it just consistently happens. And you know, I've been through some things and I've seen a lot of stuff, but essentially when it comes to women in relationships, there's some things that some probably men have been through and they haven't even got treated for it. So then it probably reopens a wound of something. Probably his mom was single and seen his mom get beat or something,
Yeah.
or and he shuts down
I
when
grew
he
up in
gets
a
yelled
DV
at.
home. It's
And
real.
and
Real.
I'm not giving a scapegoat to none of these
Nope.
none of these guys, but I'm just saying when that happens, I think people just need to understand that everybody goes through something, but coming into a relationship, that's the important part of, sometimes we can't fix each other. Maybe we do need to go take that next step and get some
Last
therapy.
last 15 seconds. Where can people support you, City Councilor?
Obviously, I want to thank everybody for listening.
Can I just say, my man Swag, check the swag. He represents Ward 1 on the City Council. And check the hat.
Yeah,
all right, that would be as
Massachusetts,
if Kim Janey had like a District 7 hat.
Yeah.
Okay, this is fire.
So I'm from Ward 1, the north end of Springfield, born and raised in Springfield, Massachusetts, City of Homes. And you can check me out on all social media platforms at Elect Adam Gomez, Instagram, Facebook, Adam Gomez Sr. And I'm on Snapchat, _daddy, DADDY. It's just
Daddy?
It was something from when I was a kid.
What's up with this?
It was something when I was younger. Shy Tizzle.
Who is a Shy Tizzle? Y'all some thugs, man.
No,
Look at y'all. What is this?
That was like the personal stuff.
You know what I mean?
But hit me up on Elect Adam Gomez.
He said that's a personal stuff.
And then A Gomez at SpringfieldCityHall.com. Honestly, I like to believe that I'm a champion of the voices of the voiceless. I like to really get involved with community engagement and community grassroots efforts. I want to shout out the whole North End. I want to shout out my people, and the opportunities are always granted.
Look at Christian over here loving it. He said, "Oh, Daddy loves it." Christian King.
OSC _
DADDY.
DADDY.
Man. You know these two people had the most wild hotmails ever, right? Or AOLs. I know y'all. Well, you too young probably for AOL.
Mine was really nerdy.
My
I had
AOL
an 8. It was Read a Lot Girl.
Oh, she had such a rough high school. Oh, bendito.
Then I dropped the Read a Lot Girl. And that's when
My
my
AOL used to be Big Os Daddy at AOL.com.
Yo, what's up with you right now?
God.
Big Os Daddy. Come on.
I was arrogant.
Big
And then we got
Os.
Read a Lot Girl, who's like nerd alert. And then
I was
we
a
get,
nerd up until high school, and then I got
I
weird.
used to be
Right, Brian? Nerd alert. Okay.
So the people
Whatever.
that
That's
don't
the
know,
one you
It's
move
cute.
on.
It's cute.
O stands for
I mean,
Oso.
Listen, if she, yeah, that's right. Oso. I like that. Oso serious. But it's so funny. It's like if it's Read a Lot Girl, you swipe right and you just keep moving along. If it's Shy Tizzle, you swipe left and then you keep moving along that way.
I don't know nothing about no swiping.
I guarantee you that that's a sign. Damn it. Listen. All right, Shy, 15 seconds. Last words.
Shaitia, Spruell. I mean, really, if you Google my name, you can find me on any social media.
Google me.
It's like Beyonce, Shaitia. There's really
done.
not many.
Wow.
I think there's 2.
I'm out.
There's 2 in the whole country,
That's awesome.
and I'm the one in Massachusetts. So Shaitia Spruell on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. 1 in a million.
Read a Lot Girl. Listen, that has been us. Shout out to our host, Monica Cannon Grant, and her little date night tonight with her little boo. Her little young tenderoni out here. Shout out to Disrupt Boston, to the homies, Michael Doobie and Brian Murphy. Down the Road Beer Company, because I love being in this place. Our amazing guests, the goddess Shaitia Spruell, Shy Tizzle, or a.k.a. Read a Lot Girl. And then Big Os Daddy.
Those aren't the 3 names he was talking about in the beginning.
Big Os Poppy 187, Big Rico, Big Rico Suave, Bald Rico 1987 at Hotmail. Shout out to both of these people.
I was born in '83, man.
Shout out to both of these people. That's one of the licenses says born in '83. Shout out to y'all, man. I love y'all. I love this. We will see y'all next week. We have amazing people. Jimmy Pereira from Springfield.
Hey, listen, shout outs to Jimmy
Pereira,
from
man.
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah, baby.
Born and raised out there. Now he's out here in Brockton.
City of Champions.
He ran a really great campaign last for mayor, and it's nothing but love. And I would love to honestly, I'm going to be watching next week, man. Nothing but love and support. I hope you're victorious in your next run. And shout outs to my man John Brady, man. He was here. He came checked us out.
Word from
before.
Lynn. Shout out
From
to
Lynn
John
came
Brady.
out here to check me out, man. But moving forward, Jimmy Pereira, though, I'm telling you, there's something special about that, guys. Give him a chance.
Yes.
Donate, support him, door knock, help him on this ride, man, because this ride is going to be
Jimmy, I'm
going
going to give him a list of your Latino calls to help you out with that. We'll bring them from Springfield.
Dímelo.
This has been Activist Hour, man. We love y'all. Peace and love.
Thanks.
Later.